Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today is February 21st, and we're here with AI and nonsense stories for the end of your week.
So nonsense and nonsense? Got it.
Yeah. Wait, did I say AI and nonsense?
You said AI and nonsense.
Oh, okay.
I heard nonsense and nonsense.
Yeah, it is kind of.
The thing that's going to change the world and destroy all our lives? I don't know if I'll call that nonsense.
Our first story certainly
It's a
is.
serious threat. Well, clearly, the people at OpenAI, DeepSeek has shaken them.
Yes.
And they have probably started to be a lot more budget conscious.
We must capture the market.
So they're making some changes about the release cycle.
TechCrunch has some thoughts about that, with OpenAI postponing its O3 AI model in favor of a quote-unquote unified next-gen release. They're worried that people are going to try to ask O3 to do things that it wasn't designed to do and then comment on how DeepSeek is better.
So GPT-5 is the next big one. We don't know exactly when, though.
GPT-4, but now with an inner monologue. Just like DeepSeek.
And if no other story terrified you this week, then you have a high tolerance. But this one should, no matter how jaded you are.
Oracle's Ellison calls for governments to unify data to feed AI. And he's not talking about, data formats like, we should make the OpenFDA format, website able to download nutrition data. No, he's talking about all the data that's collected by the government at all levels so that it's easier to search and format and just feed an AI to it. Like, select star from dissidents. Look at the AI has populated this table. It's amazing.
And he's not necessarily talking to the American government here. He was in Dubai at an AI summit saying this. So he's looking for governments around the world to feed him all of their data.
Do you think anyone rose their hand at that little conference and were like, why should I trust you with that?
Well, even if they did, I don't think he would have called on them. And Google is trying to sell you advertising. Everything else they do is just sort of built around, doing that. And there's one thing about you that they need to know in order to advertise to you effectively.
Google will use machine learning to estimate a user's age and a whole bunch of other metrics to populate your social profile, but especially your age to provide age-appropriate experiences, and also maybe detect if they've got somebody that's underage they're dealing with.
Well, that's what they say it's for, right? That's the reason they say they're doing it. I'm looking forward to what do you think the timeline is till we get our first headline where it's like Disney adult gets locked out of Google account.
Yeah, let me just set your teeth on edge there, chat. Imagine a small model. Let's just say it's only 1 billion parameters. We've all experimented with a 1 billion parameter model at this point, right? That's low power. It'll run forever on a set of AA batteries. Imagine that 1 billion parameter model just listening to what you're doing all the time. No data leaves your phone. Nothing goes to the cloud. The model's just quietly running on your phone. Where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? And then that feeds into your advertising profile.
And if it thinks you're too young, you don't get to use certain services. I just buy food that's for children.
Oh, no.
I'm not actually a child. I just like cartoons. And Microsoft has been looking into how AI will affect us in the long run once we become dependent on it and it takes over our entire lives. And surprisingly, not good.
Microsoft study finds that AI makes human cognition atrophied and unprepared. Well, certainly many aspects of our modern world do that in other respects.
I'm feeling kind of atrophied and unprepared right now.
Yeah. That game, the Idle game, like that was definitely stretching a part of my brain that I haven't used in a long time.
Idle game?
Yeah.
The Golden Idol.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it's like you're really having to make connections and realize who's who. And
I thought you meant Idle game was in like the clicker games.
No.
I was really stretching my brain.
No.
It's literally designed for the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fun game in terms of making you
Connect the
deduce.
dots. Yeah. So we need AIs to do that. It's like, I can't let you play Candy Crush until we complete these 7 logic exercises.
When you get your robot, you have to make it arrange like an escape the room game for you every couple of months. Keep you sharp.
Wouldn't that be incredible if that's the thing that transforms society? Like all of a sudden we're way more educated and way better because all of our AI companions that are also oppressing us want us to be better?
You could have your AI companion track you so you can practice escaping robots.
It's starting to get a little Pink Pantherish.
Oh, yeah, we had that. What was the name of his sidekick?
I can't remember.
I didn't like those movies, but I love those scenes where the guy would attack him out of nowhere. And how much do you trust AI? Hopefully it's a low amount, but apparently globally that has got wild aberrations.
Exclusive that trust in AI is much higher in China than in the U.S., but it was highest in India, which I thought was probably what the headline should have been, but okay.
But I wonder, like in China, maybe is some of this because people in China have learned that, like, when people start asking you questions, you say what they think you want. You say what you think they want to hear.
Well, it's like you've always said, the people who answer a poll are probably not normal people.
But in China, I don't know if you would just say no, right? Because that could have repercussions, especially if it's a
So
government.
you answer the poll, but just try to be nice about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, AI, well, the government likes that, right? Yeah. It's the best. I love it when it tracks my face and you lower my social score.
I'm smiling really big right now.
But they do have some good AI now. And of course, DeepSeek, they're probably all pretty proud of DeepSeek, right?
Yeah.
Like that was a big national win for them. And now they have another option that's free.
Baidu is going to make AI chat Ernie Bot free of charge from April 1.
Ernie doesn't stack up all that well, I don't think, against the big boys, but
I've not even heard of it.
And another one that is really never spoken about in terms of top contenders claims that it's coming up big. This was at the same event that Larry Ellison was talking about, taking all your data.
Elon Musk says that Grok 3 is in the final stages and it's outperforming all other chatbots.
Now remember this, and then remember the earlier stories we had about his...
He's got nothing to do with this. I mean, he's maybe making big decisions, but, he's too busy to do this.
I think that this has got to be... I mean, he says Grok 3 is doing really well, but he also offered to buy OpenAI for $100 billion. One of these things does not track.
And... yeah, AI summaries, which, you now they get on Google and everything, and it's, why do we have this? Well, the BBC took their own stories, and they said, hey, we should know, right? We wrote these stories. Let's see how the AI deals with these.
AI summaries turn real news into nonsense, the BBC has found. This is after the Apple intelligence fiasco shows that bots still regularly make stuff up. Yup.
So that fiasco was one of the Mario brothers. We won't say his name. They said that he had died when he is in fact alive and well. And here they based it around the October 7th, the Israeli attack thing that kicked off the war. It got it so absolutely, like, insanely wrong. It mixed it up with a shooting event in Nova Scotia and then attributed quotes to people that died in that event, which was way before the Israeli thing. So it was like dangerously bad. And they're not the only ones arguing this point.
Condé Nast and other news orgs say that AI firms stole their articles and then spit out hallucinations trying to summarize them. This is like, it's like search engine optimization gone wrong. And then Google has to figure out what to index, and they're not getting it right at all.
So they point out some similar things that they just absolutely got wrong. This was not a public one. I think this was for like specific industry, right? I can't remember which one. But it was similarly bad. And this young lady has had AI controversy before, but they just won't stop trying to steal her identity.
Scarlett Johansson urges government to limit AI after faked video of her opposing Kanye West goes viral. Well, I mean, Kanye does have a lot to oppose lately.
But she didn't oppose it.
But she was also, her voice was stolen, maybe, and then it was stolen again, and then now anybody can just use her voice for their assistant.
I mean, I could see being in a position where it's like, yeah, I don't agree with Kanye West, but please don't use my likeness against my will, because next time it's not going to be you doing something nice, it's going to be something terrible.
Also, she was not the only celebrity in that video. There were a lot of celebrities in that video, and she got top billing, so that's got to feel good, right? Uh-huh. Adam Sandler was in it. It chose her over Adam Sandler. I guess he is kind of irrelevant these days.
I really like that Will Smith eating spaghetti has become the benchmark for the fake celebrity AI video.
And this headline, you would be forgiven if you said to us, hey, you guys already did this headline. But no, it's a new one.
Lawyers caught citing an AI hallucinated case call it a cautionary tale.
Not a,
Well, multiple cases.
several.
Yeah.
And so they put forth this brief pretrial. The other lawyers went through it and checked. Hey, pro tip, always check, right? Because you could. So they immediately just win. The judge was like furious about this, as they should be.
Is that grounds for a mistrial when your lawyers mess up that bad?
I guess. And full self-driving. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's a new year. We got language models that can do incredible things, but we still don't have full self-driving. It's still garbage. And now, possibly the biggest embarrassment of the man's career.
China's BYD adding high-level self-driving to its budget $10,000 electric car. Man, it's basically an electric golf cart, but that would be
So
amazing.
tiny. Yeah.
But it can self-drive. And it's so cheap, they can't even put the proper sensors on it. Like this model will have no LiDAR of any kind and just basic cameras. But they still think it's going to be good enough to compete. I don't know if I would trust it.
Yeah. I don't know if we're like good candidates for it at all, just because of where we live. But
And in case it's not immediately obvious, this is the beginning of the nonsense section.
GOP lawmaker proposes renaming Greenland to Red, White, and Blueland.
it was actually formally proposed. You could find it on congress.gov.
That's
There
definitely
were-
not horrifying at all.
There were several troll legislations
Yeah.
about renaming things, but this I don't think is one of those, right?
No, I think
is
this was
legitimate.
legit.
Yeah,
This was the first one I read about.
yeah.
Is this the lawmaker equivalent of like blinking SOS or something? Like what?
No, I think it's like, yeah, this will get me points with the current administration, and that will get me power.
This one was a troll, but it was a deserved one.
Thousands of Danes have signed a petition to buy California from the U.S. That's Denmark, right?
I meant to look it up. I'm pretty sure California's GDP is higher than Denmark, right?
Yeah.
Like way higher.
It'd be a good deal for them.
At times, California has the world's third largest GDP, which is insane.
They were going to offer $1 trillion for it. I don't think that's good value. I think we should give. Where are we going to go to strawberries?
Let's start growing them yourself. You only get them in the spring, in June.
And renaming things has now become a meme because apparently nobody has any time to do any real work.
The headline is Google has changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America in the Maps app. If you're in the UK, it says Gulf of America and then Gulf of Mexico in parentheses. And if you're in Mexico, it says Gulf of Mexico.
So
You cannot report it either.
yeah, one publication lost their White House briefing credentials.
The
because
AP.
They they didn't name it correctly.
It wasn't like, Joe's Bait Shack News. It was the AP. The AP was asked
But-
not to come.
But to be fair, Joe's Bait Shack News has never gotten a shot at that. So it is, there's a lot of gatekeeping going on there. It's just the gates are moving in different directions now. I don't know how you solve that problem. Maybe nobody should have it, right? Maybe it should just be digital. What about
Oh
that?
no, you've clicked the wrong
This
thing.
is like USA Today. This is the worst
I
web
hate this
design.
layout, yeah.
But yeah, speaking of irrelevant,
Kid Rock cuts his Nashville performance short and storms off stage after the audience won't clap.
I
This
do
is
that
in
on phone
Tennessee.
calls a lot.
So he was like, you should clap this way, and not enough people understood that they were supposed to clap. Or listen, we're in America. We're really tired.
I don't think it's that they didn't understand. I think that they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, why are we here listening to you?
We're really tired. Please don't make us clap. And he got mad and left. The band kept going though.
And speaking of keeping
The
going,
band was getting paid.
I read this story and I was like, that guy's got to be like 20 years older than me. How is he still out there? And yes, at like 69, I think.
Bryan Adams' concert in Australia is cancelled after a fatberg causes a sewage overflow.
Ugh.
So apparently there's a huge problem in Australia with people pouring cooking oil and things they shouldn't put down the sewer line, and also wipes. The flushable wipes are not actually flushable. I have to tell people that in this building constantly.
I don't understand that. Like, I feel like that's common knowledge. Like, you
No.
don't flush that.
It says flushable.
No,
on
but
the
yeah,
thing.
because on the packet, that was actually a lawsuit, and it was ruled that you can flush them. It will have terrible consequences.
You can technically do anything.
Yeah, like the Tide Pods could say completely edible because you can't eat them.
Yeah, once.
Can we get this administration to issue an executive order that like you're not allowed to call those flushable, because they are not flushable, not remotely.
And this is a little throwback. This was one of my favorite viral videos. And this guy actually,
I remember this now.
He escaped prosecution for a long time, but he did an interview, and now they have returned for the Empire is going to strike back here.
The Mud Wizard, in his own words, and I would add a lot
Oh,
of his own
he went
words.
on and on.
A lot of his own.
You might not actually want to hang out with the
He
Mud
might
Wizard.
actually be a real wizard.
So there was a lot of police brutality at this protest in Germany, I think, is what I got out of this.
Yeah.
And he went on Howard Stern, and then a couple of weeks later they dropped the charges against him because they didn't have enough evidence. But then Howard Stern published the interview where he's like, yeah, it was totally me. And so then they tried to get the charges back on because he said on Howard Stern that it was him.
Was it Howard Stern or just a publication named Stern?
Oh, it might have been Stern. Yeah, I don't know. I assumed that was Howard Stern, but that might be a wrong assumption.
I think that was a German.
But that was more than a year after this incident that he did the interview, and he said that he tripped a policeman that he had observed beating somebody. It's like in Germany, apparently you're not supposed to beat somebody with a baton about the head, but it's on video. They're beating people about, like, this is very violent.
I like that you classified that within Germany, as if you should just, like, it's okay everywhere else, but in Germany it's frowned upon to beat someone in the head.
But if you haven't seen the video and you don't know what we're talking about, you should watch it because it's amazing. Because as you saw there, he was dressed up as like a monk or something, and he's able to navigate this mud while the police are not. I guess they're too much gear and they're too heavy, and so it does look like he's got magic and he's just like dancing around them,
Pushing them down.
It's great. This one is pure headline. And it actually is a very terrible story, but it's just such a fun headline.
17 members of the feuding Not What You Think It Is group has been arrested. What was the acronym?
It's a Liberation Front, something.
Micro-Islamic Liberation Front, yeah. Or
Philippines is where this is.
yeah, so the Morocco Islamic Liberation Front. You can work out what that is. They 17 members have been arrested.
But, you know.
We're 12.
It's funny because I'm 12.
And we're coming up on all the, like, I don't know how the whole Jewish holiday stuff works. All I know is that they sell punchkis, and they're about to stop because Passover or whatever. And so you have eating restrictions, and a very, I guess, popular, famous rabbi has added some rules this year.
Chief Rabbinate. Kosher Passover pizza must have a mountain of cheese. So this pizza company put together pizzas that they said were kosher, and this person said, no, in order to make it kosher, it's got to be square, not round. And also you should put all the cheese in the middle as a mountain. And they were just like, we can't.
How do you
manufacture that?
First of all, these are already packaged. Like, these are ready to go. Do you have any idea how much money this would cost us to do that? Why does it need to be square? Does God really care about that? And I thought this was a fun one because
That's Chris debate.
I happen to know somebody who does this, and they cite a specific example. Let's do the headline first.
Meet the adults who swear by the kids menu. Give me the chicken tendies and I'm happy.
I mean, I don't do this everywhere, but places like Culver's.
Which is the one they mentioned.
Culver's has like an adult-sized burger and fries that you can get for a kid's meal, and then they give you the Scoopy coupon.
So they explored the value ratio, and Culver's, they say, is maximum kids meal value.
Yeah, that's what I'm screaming.
And if you get 10, you get a free meal, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, but I redeem my Scoopy coupon because I want the delicious frozen custard.
A more adult way to do it would be to save your coupon.
No. I don't care about their T-shirt. I just want the frozen custard.
No, you get like a free meal, so you're only paying for every 9.
Oh, yeah, you can do a free meal, but you can also turn it in for a T-shirt.
Wow.
So it's really of great value any way you spin it.
That's funny. Like, if some people were doing this, could you do that and then turn in those tickets and be like, yeah, I need a 3X T-shirt for my child's meal, please?
I don't think they would care. They've never said anything to me when I come up
But
there.
do they make them? There's kid sizes, right?
No.
All
I
the
don't think
T-shirts
so.
are adult
Well, at least
sizes?
not from what I've seen. They have like a little display in the store.
So the kids are just drowning in them? What does that work?
I don't know. There's probably adults like me who order from the kids menu.
Clearly. And here we have, we talk about a lot of animal stories where it's like, should we really be doing this? Is the science that we get from this worth the misery that we cause?
The Guardian's headline is Domestic Violence Study That Strangled Rats Should Not Have Been Approved, the animal advocates argue. And I gotta say, I don't think that this doesn't seem like a good idea.
So they didn't kill the rats. They just strangled them to the point of, lack of oxygen damaging their brain. They also, in the control group, just smashed them in the head. And then there was a third group. They did both.
Oh.
And,
yeah. The drawing kind of takes it to a new level.
They added a weight there. And also, they didn't give them painkillers till after in a weird move. I mean, how much painkillers does it really cost to give a little mouse? Like, just a little touch of fentanyl, right?
Well, if you talk about, like, American healthcare industry, it's like hundreds of dollars,
So, yeah, I would say maybe not worth it.
I really thought this was going to end with and the money came from USAID, and it's like, oh.
And some people take their, like we did the kosher thing there. Some people take that really, really, really seriously, and they get upset maybe before thinking about all possibilities.
Locals and the BJP protest after meat was found in the Hyderabad temple, but CCTV footage revealed that a cat brought it in from the outside.
Isn't that worse?
And put it behind the statue.
Why would it be worse?
Well, like, aren't cats unclean or certain animals unclean in some of those? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
My cats have unclean butts sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's more about the insult. These people rallied in the street. They were forming a mob.
Like, who did this?
Yeah,
so this is an insult. It's a deliberate insult. Nah, it's just a random cat. Thank goodness for the pervasive CCTV that was able to solve the mystery.
Yeah, did you notice the powers that be there were like, we need to install more CCTVs. Clearly, this is the best.
More.
Yeah. This is what God needs. And I guess this is an opportunity if you're a fisher in Norway, fisher person. And this is apparently, though, very, very terrible for the wild salmon of Norway.
Seafood firm offers bounty to catch 27,000 escaped salmon off Norway. It was like, what is it, like $37 each? Because the farm-raised salmon apparently are much more invasive than the naturally occurring salmon that are there.
They are dripping with sea lice. And apparently, kind of like our future when we get dependent on AI, they're just bad at being salmon. And so they found that after a couple of generations in captivity, if they mate with a wild salmon, those eggs have very little chance of survival. They're just too dumb and broken from their captivity.
Didn't we have a story on lab-grown meat this week?
No.
Was that last week? Oh, I might have got distracted reading the story. It's like a linked story, but there's somewhere in the UK they finally got approval for lab-grown meat. Oh, it was in only dog treats though. But if it doesn't kill dogs, then lab-grown meat for people is on the way.
Do they have to tell you on the packaging?
Mm-hmm. But you can get meaty dog treats, but it's totally like Senta-Cow style meat.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't have a dog, but I wouldn't give that to my cats. And finally, a feel-good story, but surely a terrifying time for this gentleman.
A humpback whale briefly swallows kayaker in the Chilean Patagonia, and it's all captured on camera. Now, the AP had the camera, the video, and I started to watch it, and then I went back later, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, they've licensed it. But the interesting thing, you got a play button there.
Okay.
The interesting thing about the video is that it's all filmed by his dad, who is on another kayak standing next to him, and is just totally calm, like nerves of steel.
Yeah.
He's just like,
the training covered this.
Yeah, be calm, come over here and get on mine, because it's cold water.
Yeah.
And got him to safety.
The whale spit it back up. So
a real Jonah moment.
What do you think the whale thought he was?
Not plastic and.
Haven't they said that, I'm thinking maybe of surfers where they sometimes think sharks get confused by, the colors and patterns on surfboards.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something like that. It saw the pattern, was like, oh, that's food or something. Maybe that's a bird. I'm going to get a quick meal.
We need to market, kayaks that whales don't like.
Do humpbacks... I don't know enough about my whale types. Do humpbacks eat krill?
Yeah, they got where they just take in a bunch of water and then sift it out, right?
Oh, except for this guy who's got the taste for blood.
But he didn't like it.
Yeah, he did spit it out.
It's like, oops, my bad. Sorry.
The guy had a moment where he was like, do I taste bad?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
But thankfully,
To a humpback whale.
yeah.
All right. Well, you've wasted a perfectly good week with us.
Thank you.
Please give us any feedback you have about the upload schedule for the news. We can adjust accordingly. We will see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.